How's it, guys? This is Dayvy FPL and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. This week's going to be the Game Week 36 review, followed by the second last game week of the season, Game Week 37. We're going to take a look at those upcoming fixtures and maybe some strategies that you guys can look into and players to potentially bring in. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about Game Week 36. But before I do that, just a reminder of kind of the format that I'm doing these past couple weeks. This video is going to be focusing a little bit more on my team and my plans for the upcoming game weeks. And then the video later in the week, probably recorded on Wednesday night before the Champions League fixture, will be a video pertaining to kind of your guys' questions and tips that I can hopefully give you for the last two game weeks of the season. So I will be posting a tweet out on Twitter, so please go follow me on there if you're not following me already, at DayvyFPL, and I'll post a tweet probably after this video goes live, so just reply to that with any comments or questions you have, and I will hopefully ask them. The same rules apply. If someone has already answered or asked the question, please just like their reply, and then I will hopefully see it a lot quicker. But I will probably be getting through a lot of questions. As I said, this is the second last game week of the season, so kind of anything goes. If you want to ask me anything original or anything out of FPL, you can, and I'll try and answer it as honestly as possible. But I suggest probably most of the questions are going to be about FPL, so stay tuned for that video. It's probably going to be dropping on Thursday around lunchtime. I usually upload around lunchtime. This video should be out on Tuesday at lunchtime. So let's get straight into the Game Week 36 review. I ended up using my triple captainship on Sadio Mane against Huddersfield, and I ended up scoring 106 points. No points hit, so that's the second 100 club of the season. Obviously, the earlier one I think was when I used my free hit in the first double game week. So very happy with it. More than the average of 69. However, the top 1k average is a little bit more inflated. I think it was around 90. So glad I could finally get a green arrow. However, using the triple captainship, you almost are certain to kind of get a green arrow unless you captain someone ridiculous. So very happy with the green arrow. It saw us rise in rank to 25th in the world from 30th. So 5 places. It might not seem like much, but you know, every step at the top is kind of eventful, and I'm trying to catch up as many places as I can in these final 2 game weeks, and hopefully we can finish as high as possible. So I hope that it was a great game week for you guys. A lot of you were asking me over on Twitter and on YouTube who you should captain between Salah and Mane. I think I went for Salah every time, so hopefully you listened to my advice and it helped you with your triple captains or even captaincy. And hopefully every one of us got a green arrow this game week. So let's get straight on to the review of this team. So in goal we had Lloris, who ended up getting a bonus point and a save point. He was on for about 9 points before they conceded, so was quite disappointed in that. Obviously Spurs didn't really turn up that much in this game. I saw a lot of West Ham fans were quite confident before this fixture and were quite confident in being the first team to take points at Spurs' new stadium. So it did happen, and Spurs are kind of still at the top of that top 4 race. They are currently 3rd, but it's kind of heating up a little bit there, and I can kind of see them wanting to guarantee that top 4 spot. So you can see them going full strength in the future, but we'll talk about that in the preview. So Lloris with 4 points and then Valerie with 4 points as well. I was a little bit confused between him and Dunk. Opted for Valerie just because I did not favor the Brighton defenders, even though they did redeem themselves a little bit last game week, but still have the memories of that double game week Duffy captaincy in mind. So opted for Valerie. He offers a little bit more attacking threat than Dunk, and he showed that. He ended up getting an assist, even though Southampton conceded quite a few goals against Bournemouth. Then we have Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, my defense shining duo with 14 points and 10 points. Liverpool went on to destroy Huddersfield as predicted by most people. 5-0 the end result, and a very nice assist from Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then we have Sterling and Eriksen and Son, who all blanked. Sterling just with that clean sheet point. The Man City Burnley game was quite close. Man City with a lot of opportunities to score, but as you know, Brighton were always going to probably park the bus in that fixture. So no returns from Sterling. A lot of people, I think, captained him. Not as many as the Liverpool options, but That was quite unfortunate if you did not get any points. Eriksen and Son, as I've spoken about, Spurs didn't really turn up for their fixture. And then Sadio Mane with 2 goals. My triple captain, he ended up getting 13 points, which tripled to 39. The one thing that really hurt me about the Mane captaincy or triple captaincy was that I was playing football on Friday night, so I couldn't watch the game. However, just as I was about to leave the venue, there was a TV there and some guys were watching, and they just shouted Mane with their hands on their head, so I knew that he had missed the opportunity. And then to go and watch the highlights and see the miss that he actually had, struck the post with a nice close range header. It was a lot harder, I thought, than the other 2 headers that he had. But those points from that goal probably would have seen him get 3 bonus points. So I estimated it to be around a 20-point swing if he did get that goal. So quite a lot of points on the triple captaincy there if I was to gain from that goal. But, you know, that's how FPL goes sometimes. Sometimes we're lucky and unlucky, and this was just one of those instances. However, I will take 13 points from a triple captain after seeing some of the triple captain options used during the season, except for obviously maybe Aguero. And then we have Jota with 12 points and Jimenez with 7. Wolves got a nice win over Watford, and I'm very happy with my Wolves options, especially with the coming game week against Fulham, but we'll look at that more in the preview. Then Aguero with 9 points, he got that vital goal, just crossed the line. I think it was just over 1 centimeter or something, so very not really lucky. I mean, if it goes in, it goes in, but fortunate that I was able to get his points, and he got some bonus points in the end as well. I actually think that it was a 3-way tie for all 3 bonus points. I think it was Walker, Laporte and Aguero all getting 3, so that was quite nice. Then we have Foster with 1 point, Dunk with 2, Bolly with 2 and Isaac Success with 0. The bench, wasn't really expecting much from them, and all my players played, so just main reason I brought in Isaac's Success was that I would be able to bench him, so happy with him not returning anything and looking like a good bench option to the rest of the season. So as I said, we ended up on 106 points with a Ryzen rank to 25th in the world. Let me know down below what you got for this game week. I know a lot of my viewers were tweeting me saying that they'd got in the 120s and 130s, so it'll be quite interesting to see if any of you guys got in those numbers. Now going on to the preview for next game week. I'm quite happy with the lineup that I have currently. I will talk about some transfer options later on in the video. However, I do not think that I'm going to be making one. Obviously, barring if any injuries do occur in the Champions League fixtures. So please do go and watch those fixtures. I know it's just Spurs and Liverpool playing, but as you can see with me, I have a total of 5 of those, or 6 of those players actually. So hoping no injuries occur. And Son is banned for the first leg, so he probably will be a good option against Bournemouth if you are looking for one. However, all of the other players should be playing in those Champions League semi-finals. So please keep an eye on those and don't make any of your moves before then, I think. So starting off, we have Lloris against Bournemouth away. Bournemouth is quite a tricky fixture to predict right now because they seem to one week be conceding 1 goal and scoring 0, and then suddenly they score 5 goals and then 3 this weekend. So hoping for a clean sheet in that one, and maybe Spurs to turn up and hopefully secure that top 4 position. It's a little bit of a tough one because Spurs do play on Tuesday night. However, they do have more days to play than Liverpool do. So Spurs play on the Tuesday and then on the Saturday, I do believe, and then they play the following Wednesday. So they have quite a nice bit of break between the fixtures. So I expect them to play a full strength side against Bournemouth, and I'm not really worried about that much rotation. If you do own someone like Trippier, he seems to be rotated quite easily now, and they seem to rest him for the big game. So depending on how the Champions League fixture goes, I could see him maybe being rested for the Bournemouth fixture. Then we have Bolly against Fulham, and then the double up of Robertson and Alexander-Arnold to complete the defense. Now with Bolly, he always offers that attacking threat, and against Fulham at home, I do expect Wolves to keep a clean sheet, hopefully. Fulham are on some nice run of form right now, but they aren't scoring that many goals, but are keeping very tidy at the back, so hopefully Jota and Jimenez can break them down and score a couple. With Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, not really worried about Robertson's rotation, but am a little bit worried about Alexander-Arnold. I do think that if he starts this weekend, he will be probably have limited minutes as he usually is, but if he does start on Wednesday night against Barcelona, I do think that Gomez might come in. Only reason I'm saying this is that Liverpool play on Wednesday night, then on Saturday, and then on Tuesday. So they have quite a limited number of days of rest, so I can see Alexander-Arnold maybe being rested for that one. However, if Joe Gomez does surprisingly come in on Wednesday, then I would be assured of Alexander-Arnold starting. Hoping both my Liverpool defenders do start, as they are the best defense in the Premier League and are getting me lots of points even from assists. Then we have Sterling against Leicester along with Aguero. I don't really think there's going to be any risk of rotation with these two. Man City are focusing on the league 110% and are throwing everything at it, and I do think a fixture against Leicester at home is quite an appetizing one. Reason I'm saying this is that Leicester aren't really a team that parks the bus. They do kind of sit back a little bit and then counter, but they're not that good defensively like, say, one of your other Burnleys or Brightons. So I kind of think this weekend's going to be the opposite from this current game week, which was Liverpool scoring 5 and Man City scoring 1. I think the styles of the teams are going to be polar opposites. I think Newcastle are going to sit back and defend, and then Leicester are going to be quite open. So I do expect Man City to get quite a few goals this weekend, especially with the drive there are to get this back-to-back Premier League title. Then we have Eriksen and Son against Bournemouth. I've already spoken about them starting, and Mane against Newcastle. I'm hoping Mane can get the goal too against Newcastle. I think it's going to be quite a tough fixture for Liverpool. Newcastle are again on quite a nice run of form, but Liverpool should be beating Newcastle, so I'm hoping just for some goals and a clean sheet. Then Jota and Jimenez against Fulham at home. Wolves always perform well at home, and I think that they're one of the better teams to have, as they kind of seem to have not been on the beach that much lately, and at home they always want to give a show for their crowd, so hoping for some nice goals there. On the bench, I have Foster versus Chelsea, which is kind of a no-brainer to bench against, and Dunk against Arsenal away as well. Valerie is an interesting one. I could play him, however, I just think that Bolly and my Liverpool players have better fixtures. The thing is that if I hear news that Alexander-Arnold might be benched, then I would bring in Valerie, as I don't really want to have a one-point appearance from the Liverpool man. Now going into some transfer options, there's not many that are quite appetizing, besides the likes of probably Southampton for that Huddersfield at home fixture. However, that one is only in game week 38. So right now the big talking point is kind of on Man United options. They have Huddersfield this weekend and then Cardiff in game week 38. So quite nice fixtures there. Cardiff should be relegated by game week 38, so they should probably be quite easy to turn over. However, Man United's form is absolutely dismal at the moment. I actually did watch a little bit of the Man United Chelsea game, and to me it was quite a shock, as Chelsea kind of were playing towards the draw, and Man United kind of looked like they wanted to win. They just didn't have the quality to kind of get in those areas to actually win the match. So I've kind of just pick two options here for the upcoming game week, Shaw and Pogba. You could go for another Manchester United midfielder, however, I don't really know which one to go for. Martial doesn't seem to be in the best form. I don't really trust Mata that much, and Sanchez is a little bit too expensive. I've kind of got Shaw in now for Trent Alexander-Arnold, as I spoke about maybe the risk of rotation with Trent. And Shaw offers some nice attacking threat as well. He's kind of been quite solid in that Man United defense, even though the Man United defense hasn't been that great. Then we have Pogba. He's on penalties, and sometimes he has a point to prove generally, but Pogba worries me a little bit. He seems to be playing a little bit lackluster at the moment and not that interested. So the other option that I would kind of go for is Rashford or Lukaku. I just think that this game week I'm not going to transfer Rashford from Jimenez, as I just think that Jimenez's fixture is quite nice. And Lukaku, I would have to kind of rearrange my team to bring him in and take a -4 downgrading someone. So I don't really think it's worth it for me right now, so I'm kind of looking to bank the transfer and then kind of use it in game week 38 to kind of assess the situation of more teams more carefully. So that's basically going to wrap up the video. So please follow me on Twitter at DayvyFPL and get your questions in, and just ask me if you need any tips on certain things. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Please like the video if you did enjoy. This season has been an incredible journey with you guys. So thanks for all the support, and please subscribe to the channel if you are new or are enjoying the content and haven't committed yet. It'll help the channel out greatly, and it just shows your support. But otherwise, I'm going to be wrapping up. This has been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.